Hello and welcome to Backseat Driver Live. We're going to be reacting today to the Dutch Grand Prix. And as you can see, I am joined today by the one and only beautiful Durk Chocolate, the man who I humiliated on Thursday in a league race, missed qualifying and 8 laps of the race and still managed to come back and beat him.
Let's let it go.
I'm going to enjoy it until you beat me on Thursday.
That's
so we're going to enjoy that. But Dutch GP, Max on pole. When isn't he?
Yeah.
Easy win for him today. What do you reckon? Chat, let us know as well. Let's get a poll going.
Did you watch his pre-race conference?
No.
He got asked, "Are you guys scared of the Mercedes pace?" And he just went, "No." I think that just goes to show how confident he is.
I don't know. I think if the trajectory continues and Mercedes are better in race pace than they are in quali pace, then maybe. But they do have to get past two Ferraris to challenge.
Then it's
and
too
around
late.
here, what do you mean too late?
It's too late.
Oh, what, in terms to challenge for the championship?
By
Oh, yeah, the
like,
championship.
By the time they can slap Liam Lawson in the car, and
the
they'll be
championship's gone. The championship's gone.
They can slap Pierre Gasly in the car, and they'll be like,
the championship's gone, but I do think that Mercedes can win a race this season. And I just want, mainly because I want Lewis to continue that streak of winning in every single season. The only driver who's ever done that.
Would love to see Lewis up there in the battles, in the battles with Max and Sainz. And I think if Mercedes can close the gap next season with Ferrari and Red Bull, that would make it so much more interesting. I mean, I enjoy the battles right now between the 4 drivers and the 2 teams. But if they can get a 3rd team in there, I'd really enjoy watching that.
Well, there was more bitchiness between like Red Bull and Merc because Red Bull knew.
You'll have to swear.
That Merc, you can say whatever you want, mate. Because Red Bull knew that Merc would at least, not make mistakes. They would challenge, not like Ferrari have been doing this season, where they're like, "Oh, we can be as respectful as we want." Because when we get into a race, you're gonna do something to mess this up. I mean, what were they doing last time out in Belgium, pitting Leclerc, and then
I have no idea.
Vettel spin.
I honestly watching Alfstar
Chat says Max will win 66%. Max 22% says other and 11% says Charles.
I think it is going to be a Max win. It's his home GP. He's got the crowd. He's got the car. He's got the talent. Like I at this point, it's very hard to argue against him being he's in such a dominant form this year.
Man and machine just working perfectly.
Literally that. Yeah, everything's just in sync for him to just get another.
Don't know what was going on over there.
But no, it should be good. I'm looking forward to it. Do you get the vibe that Leclerc's kind of given up?
No. Ferrari, on the other hand, yeah.
I mean, Ferrari have openly given up, but I'm
ages ago.
I'm looking at
Nah, I don't think. I think I've had this conversation before, and I don't believe Charles Leclerc is ready to fight for a championship. Can he compete? Or ready to win a championship? Can he fight for a championship? Yes, but he just doesn't have that consistency yet that Max, Lewis, and even Alonso has. That I feel like put them in a top car and they're going to fight for the whole season. Anyone? Look, there he is, the GOAT, Lance Stroll, Q3. What a legend! You
know what? I will put my hands up, Haydon. This is the only. I can't believe you're the only person that's got that shirt.
No, that's a lie. When I was in Belgium, I saw another person with this shirt.
Okay.
And our eyes locked, and I think instantly we were in love. I think instantly we knew.
Wasn't Fen? Wasn't your girlfriend? No.
It wasn't Fen. She had the Vettel one on.
That's the correct shirt, by the way.
Oh, wow. All right. Sure. Anyone asking as well where the Verstappen shirt is? I was prepared to wear the Verstappen shirt for this race. I told my girlfriend when we were in Spa, don't put that shirt in the wash because I'm going to need it for Backseat Driver. What does she do? Puts it in the wash. And it's in the Netherlands.
Connor's asking a very good question here. Why Stroll specifically?
When you defend someone for so long because they get a lot of hate, right? And then you just you just be like, oh no, I'm going to back this guy because I like to support everyone. And then you just go so far that you're like, do you know what? I'm actually a big fan. When you do your research and you look into it a bit more and then you just sort of become a big fan of him.
So it started off as no one else loves him, so I'm going to love him.
Well, no, it was just a lot of, when he first came into the sport, a lot of unnecessary hate, just being like, oh, this guy's rubbish, he's just paid for his seat. And it was just like, well, he just dominated the F3 championship.
His dad did pay
his
for
dad
his
paid for his
seat,
seat, but there's so many other drivers in the field where their parents have paid for their seat and they've not been competitive. Look at Nicholas Latifi. Look at Nikita Mazepin. At least this driver can stick it on pole position.
I mean,
youngest ever driver to be on the front row as well on a grid. You know, got a podium in his first season. Has Latifi ever done that? Did Nikita Mazepin ever get close to doing that? Other pay drivers, Pastor Maldonado, he actually won a race, in all fairness. He had pace, but not consistency. And I think it's a similar thing with Stroll. He has pace, he just doesn't have the consistency.
I will say, right, this week is the first week I've watched Stroll. Not to lie, because Turkey was doing good and then he bottled it. But this week is the first week in a long time I watched Stroll and being like, he's looking really good. He's looking really, really good in an Aston Martin.
I think it helps that the car's obviously good this weekend. I think both drivers would have got to Q3 had Vettel not had that slide. But I think, you know, it's easier to like hate on a driver, especially when they're down the bottom. And, you know, Sebastian Vettel's got a massive fan base. They're the loudest people. So if Stroll beats Vettel at one point, it'd be like, well, that's because Vettel did this. So if Vettel hadn't done this, you know... If Stroll said purple in every sector, he would have been pole. You know?
Shut up.
So, it works the same way.
Yeah. What does Gina say? If my grandma was a bicycle.
No, my grandmother had wheels, she would be a bicycle.
That's the same. That's the
Or
same.
there's that other kid from like the Liverpool thing where it's just like, if my aunt had balls, she'd be my uncle, but she doesn't, so she's my aunt.
I absolutely love that one.
Do we think flares can cause an issue today? That's the poll that's currently going in the chat, so make sure you go and vote over there. It's just stupid. You know, it looks cool when it's like the smoke going, but you know, being in that situation when I was in there in Spa and it's like not really being able to breathe that well, you're like, okay, what on earth is going on? Or being able to see.
Yeah, if you're a smack in that cloud, someone throws a flare, that's bad. That's a really bad day for you.
You just sound a bit like a party pooper, but at the end of the day, I like breathing. I'm sure a lot of people do as well, so I'd like to keep doing that.
I hadn't thought about how much of an impact or how much clown behavior it was until yesterday when someone threw a flare.
Yeah, when you're throwing them on the track, that's like, what are you doing?
You're running for everyone at that point. Yeah. Absolutely everyone.
Yeah.
Even like the teams. Like,
well, the funny thing was, when the second one came out, if a red flag came out at that position, Charles Leclerc would have got pole position because he was currently ahead of Verstappen. So if the red flag came out, it would have been a Dutch fan throwing a flare on the track, causing a red flag. No one then can go out for a lap after that. And they've literally ruined Max getting pole. So it's just something to think about. Like,
just straight hooligan behaviour.
Keep it in the stands if F1 allow it, even though they didn't because they put up signs to hand them in. But if you're asking people to hand them in, they're not going to go, oh, okay, here you go. I've just spent all this money on this flare, but you've told me to hand it in, so I'm going to do that.
And the myth, the legend, Mattia Bonotto, the man that everyone's questioning if he's going to keep his position next year. I mean, he will. Ferrari like a bit of a legacy.
That shot's going to be used for Drive to Survive. Look at that. That was some beautiful camera work. Right, all the cars lining up on the grid. Who is going to take the dub, Durk?
I'm expecting Max to take the win, but I'm looking at Lewis, and I think he's hungry from last week. You know,
I want Lewis as well.
I want a Lewis win. I want to see him. I want to see him strive and
bold prediction as well.
Bold prediction.
No one knows.
Albon top 5.
5 lights. We're on the way. Here we go. Good start there from Max. Covers off Leclerc. Sainz covering off P3, but Hamilton up the inside. Oh, a little bit of contact.
That was Lewis again, I think.
Between the two of them. There was a gap up the inside and it just closed from Sainz. He was taking that wider apex.
Jeez, that was a great save. That was
Hamilton.
Lewis.
Russell's
P3.
dropped out a lot.
Yeah, he's
dropped down even more.
Stroll.
Come on, boy. Come on. Let's go. Max Verstappen's driven off. Bye-bye. See you later. Thank you everyone for watching.
You know what? Great save.
Enjoyed Max Verstappen's win there.
You know what?
He's just disappeared already.
This track, I'm not a massive fan of watching, but these cars have delivered in every single race so far, pretty much, in terms of
you had to add the pretty much, because there were
lots. I mean, there's clearly been 1 or 2 races that haven't been that's great, don't get me wrong, but in terms of what they've been trying to do, it's delivered. And
definitely.
I'm a little bit more optimistic.
I'm looking forward to this race. It's difficult to overtake around here, yes, but I think, again, it's one of those circuits where you watch it on board, and if you do see a move, you know it's an incredible overtake.
Yeah.
Like this one at the moment. We've got a Haas going wheel to wheel with the Alpha. It's so close, wheel to wheel. There's barely
a little bit of a wobble there on the exit.
Any room to breathe at all between the two of them. And they pull it off, so fair play. Mick Schumacher Surprised me yesterday. Yeah. I think it's very important for him to carry on this streak. Obviously, he got into Q3. His teammate lower down the field as we've got a couple of battles going on. The Alpine
is looking
fighting with the AlphaTauri. No. Alonso's further down the field, yeah. And we've got a Williams of Albon fighting with Magnussen, I believe that is. Oh, Magnussen off into the barrier. I think he's kept it.
Yeah, but his left rear is ruined.
No. That's just the barrier. He picked up a bit of the tape from the barrier. I think it's going to be okay. He bashed the wheel for sure.
Just lost.
But just look, he picks up the marketing there, the Amco marketing, and it's stuck to his wheel. I think the car's fine. It's just taking a little bit of a knock. Well, I think it'll be okay, but not what you want to be doing. But around here, you cannot make a tiny error because you will end up in the gravel or into the wall because it's just so short.
Track is very unforgiving to making mistakes. There's no runoffs as far as I'm aware.
No,
it's absolutely zero runoffs. So if you make a mistake, you're going to the gravel or the wall, which is why I think it's a bit slower than normal.
Leclerc just holding on in the 1 second, starting lap 3, so that means DRS now activated. But there's only two DRS zones. The DRS did they go with the DRS?
Sector 1 and Sector 3.
Yeah, there's two DRS zones.
Under Sector 2 and Sector 3, I think it
is. Yeah. Did they do it with the halfway through the banking where they've got the DRS zone? Because I know they were trialing it, but I haven't been following it enough this weekend.
In the start-finish straight there is, but I don't...
Matt said yes.
Yeah, start-finish straight.
From producer Matt.
Yeah, because I remember watching Verstappen's lap yesterday on his hot lap, and he deployed it really early, and I was like, ooh.
Yeah, he just has a little look. Carlos going for that late apex to try and launch off the corner. Lewis is like, oh, there's a gap. So it's just two cars coming together.
Is there one DRS zone, sorry?
Sorry,
I confused me. I was like, huh?
There's that one there.
Yeah.
And then obviously the start-finish straight. Yeah. Good start. It was a good start. It was just sort of an average start. I think just the gap opened. It was just the gap opened on the inside. It wasn't really...
Save on the first
I mean, you're going to go for that, aren't you?
There's
a gap on the inside. But
was it his fault? Yeah, racing incident. But
it's just a racing incident. You're going to go for the gap, and the driver behind is going for a late apex to try and launch himself off the corner and have a run on Charles.
I know all about that one, mate. Don't worry.
What?
From last week. I know all about that one from Thursday.
What, you crashing into McLaren to turn 1?
I
can't wait for you to get a penalty because you reported yourself yet again.
Did I?
Well, it's in the footage. Oh. So all they have to do is go, yeah, we'll take your penalty away, but
we'll give you another one.
He's so close to the Marshall post as well, and that is concrete.
Let go of the wheel as well,
That is concrete. Well, yeah, because if you go in sideways, you're told to let go of the wheel, as Russell overtakes Lando. If you go in straight on, I think you hold it to use it as a brace, but if you go in sideways, because the steering can move, as we got a yellow flag turned into a green flag somewhere. Don't know if anyone else has had an issue.
I mean, Magnussen's keeping up with pace at the moment, so he's not looking too bad.
He's not far off Latifi.
Albon's dropped down 2 positions. He got overtaken by Zhou and Alonso, who was P13 at one point.
Who's going to be a train conductor today? Well, I've got to say, it's probably going to be... I'd be surprised if it wasn't Lance Stroll, to be honest.
Really?
Well, I think Norris is just that little bit... McLaren in sort of their own little land. Yeah. And then Stroll, head of the Aston Martin, head of the rest... So there's a bit of a gap there at the moment between Ocon and Schumacher. But yeah, Schumacher, I think good job. What do we think, chat? Schumacher now starting to step it up because he beat Magnussen. Obviously, it's one result. But I think it comes at a very important stage if Alpine are looking at him or even AlphaTauri are looking at him with his Ferrari academy at the end of the year being over. Yeah. He needs to make himself look as good as he possibly can. Over the next, 3 races will be very, very important for him. And if he can do that, then who knows? Maybe now. I love also the line.
They take a really high line.
Yeah, we go like very, very low, but they can take a high line.
What was I going to say? Yeah, we're in full swing of silly season. It's really interesting at the moment. I was going to say, you know who's not talked about enough, I think, that is performing really well? Esteban Ocon.
Okay.
The car that he's got, I think he's doing a really, really good job.
That he's got? Alpine is...
4th, 5th?
Yeah.
5th? I'd say 5th.
Okay.
4th, 5th.
He's currently behind Lance Stroll.
Yeah, but he's been outperforming Alonso for a good few races now.
I wouldn't say he's been. I'd say they've been fairly similar.
I think
Ocon stepped it up compared to the start of the season.
Yeah.
Because whilst Ocon had the more points, Lewis on the back of Sainz here could be looking at an overtake.
He's hungry.
No, we're at Zandvoort. Not hungry.
Shut up. He's hungry to get back in the podium to start getting these wins.
Lando's the cork in the bottle today. Top 3 teams in another league. Yeah. Lando, not really getting too far away from Stroll, but Stroll on the soft tyres, Lando on the mediums, so you would expect Stroll to have more grip, more pace on those soft tyres. So Lando just going for the long game at the moment, and I think that's the wise choice. I think for Lando, he's just always in a world of his own.
Yeah.
If sometimes he can get that qualifying result above one of the top 6 drivers, but then he'll just slowly fall down into his own land again.
Yeah. Or
if he's further down, he'll make his way back up and he actually has a bit of a race. I mean,
he's a weird study, as Lando, in the sense of he's not someone you'd initially look at and be like, he's absolutely rapid. Doesn't look like he's someone. He doesn't give that.
I think it's just more like at the moment you're so under the radar because you're not around anyone, not doing anything. It's not like he has good qualifying sessions, but the car's just not good enough to hold it.
No, and he's very openly about that. But he's like, you see like drivers like Ricciardo that would be like, okay, I need to get in the zone. Like Lewis Hamilton, I need to get like space.
Okay,
Charles, the same thing. But Lando's like just a free spirit.
Yeah.
I'm just going to chat to everyone, do what I want. And then he gets in the race and he's like absolutely rapping. I'm like, what?
I think it's good when you have that luxury when you're about, you're in that no man's land at the moment. You're not worried about anyone behind you. You're comfortably beating your teammate. Sorry, Matt. Sorry. Comfortably beating your teammate, but you're not good enough, or the car's not good enough to challenge up front. So there's nothing for you to really fight for. I'm sure come a stage if he's in a winning car, then he's going to be a bit more in that zone.
I reckon McLaren,
but with the pressures on,
next season can bring that car back to life.
I think they've made great improvements this year, looking at where they were in Bahrain.
That's very true, yeah.
But I think they're very much fundamentally, again, I hate to say this, but I think if Ricciardo had been stronger or they had a driver that was a bit closer to Lando, they would be comfortably in that P4 because Lando's just got so much more percentage of points compared to Ricciardo.
What if, it's hypothetical, so I know this might, if this went out to the wide, this might be a cause of reaction, but what if it's a situation like Max where the car's so developed for one driver that the other driver is just not able to utilize it as much? And let's say Oscar Piastri comes in, gets in that car, and he struggles as well. Is that then not an indication that maybe it's not actually?
There's more talk. Because I've heard. I mean, I'm not the best person to go to because I don't. I've heard that it's bad for both drivers. Like Lando's also complained, but it's the way that Zach Brown wants the car to be. Like he wants it to be driven in that certain way. That's just things that I've heard. Who knows whether it's true or not? But I mean, makes sense. But at the start of the season, why was Lando still on top? We look at these new regulations. The car wouldn't suit anyone. And we saw that with Red Bull. Because Max Verstappen was, fairly, I'd say, had the upper hand on Perez, but Perez was there. Everyone was like, oh my God, Perez versus Max could happen. And now it's just not there because Max is just so comfortable. He's zoned in with the car. He's, got comfortable with these new regulations and now he's flying. And Perez has not been able to do the same.
No, you're right.
I think that's the same for Lando and Ricciardo is, it should have been a bit closer at the start then.
The one room is that currently Perez was testing new parts to test for the upcoming changes, and that's why it was slower. I don't know how true that was, but that was a reason. But I can't imagine that that's still the case now, where they're using them as a test dummy for new car parts.
Yeah. Ferrari's pushing for what though?
Do you know what I've started doing lately? With F1 races, I watch. So obviously you've got the main broadcast, and you've got F1 TV, which are
you the one who has 20 different screens?
I have 3
everything going on.
But what I usually do now is I'm really interested in hearing how the engineers talk to the drivers and what they're thinking, the strategy and stuff. And I'll sit there and I'll listen to, for example, Max or Carlos. It's actually, Charles and Carlos are really interesting. Carlos is a bit more in control of what he wants, and less listen to the Ferrari strategists or engineers in the background. He's a bit more, they'll tell him the information, and he'll question and judge that information. And they don't broadcast everything, but there's been cases where like they'll tell him something and he'll go against what they want and do what he wants, and it's worked out in his favor. But I forgot the point I was going to actually completely. But I forgot what I was going to go to. I was heading somewhere and I've completely forgotten. My mind's gone. My mind's gone. What happened? The radio came on. I've completely forgotten, mate. Honestly,
your mind's just gone.
There was a reason I started that up. Anyway,
so on Gasly, around the outside, flies past, sprays a bit of sparks behind as well, and up into Vettel into the pits as well, but up into P12. My boy, Joey boy.
I was going to talk about tyre management.
Trying to catch up.
Tyre management was what I was going to come out to.
Track is very green, I think.
There we go. See, my brain was thinking. I was going. There's a like tyre management is usually a really strong point of topic, and usually like Charles Leclerc usually and Max actually have always, the drivers always wanted to push quite a lot. But
it's a really nice bit of Durk. Very good.
My point was going to be that the drivers usually want to push quite hard, but they're really restrict in terms of pace so that they can manage the tyres quite a lot. And Leclerc and Verstappen really, I'm sure all the drivers do, but they're the ones that I've watched quite a lot lately. Yeah. And you hear them quite a lot where, I don't know, Charles is like, can I push? Or Verstappen's, can I push? They're like, no, you need to stick to this pace to like manage the tyres. So I'm looking at the pace, and it could just be a case of tyre management. I'm sure they would be quicker, closer if they could be, but sometimes it's like, right, stay out of the dirty air, keep this distance, but keep this pace up so I can keep with them, and then we'll manage the strategies.
Yeah. I get it. I mean, you've been playing a lot of F1 manager recently, so you are becoming the...
There is that, but no.
The manager. Joe's got past Gasly as well. Let's go.
What I listened to.
And also right on the back of Tsunoda. Right on the back of Tsunoda. Oh, Gasly's got back Joe. Something that could be quite interesting as well is obviously Hamilton and Russell both on mediums, everybody else ahead of them on softs. So at some point they should be leading this race, unless Max can just take those softs to an unbelievable
long range
distance, which it kind of did before. It's interesting that Haas is sponsored by Ziggo Sport.
Absolutely messed that up, mate.
Yeah, he's been having a few blunders this weekend.
What's wrong with him?
Which is only going to be making Mick look better.
That is very true.
Which is very important. Mick, Ricciardo and Gasly, these are very, very crucial weekends because they need to show what they've got. If they don't, the other one's going to be taking their seat. And coming from this weekend, Schumacher's on top, I'd say.
Schumacher, right? I play devil's advocate with Schumacher because I don't think that he's got the aggression, that it takes to be up there yet. I'm sure. See, time management. Got to keep the pace.
Oh, it goes Alonso. On Tsunoda. Just climbing through the field.
Oh, Tsunoda, I've been a massive fan of this weekend, mate. Honestly, I've loved watching him this weekend.
A lot of people this season have been saying Gasly's in the mud. Like, he's having a bad season.
Yeah.
I think it's more Tsunoda's raised his game from last season, and now they're on a bit more. I think Gasly's just got slightly the upper hand on a majority of weekends.
Of course.
But Tsunoda is right there, and he's beaten him today. There are weekends where Tsunoda has got it on top.
Now, where he's been right up there.
So I think it's more Tsunoda. The car's not as good as where it used to be last year. Tsunoda's raised his game, and that's why Gasly's maybe not looking as good as he has done in recent weeks.
I read a cheeky little article. I didn't read it all, but I don't know if it's fact or not. But it
just read the headline.
I read a little bit, but it said that Helmut Marko thinks that Yuki Tsunoda can become a team leader at AlphaTauri in the future.
Yeah, I mean,
which is a massive U-turn from last season.
Well, yeah, exactly, and I think he's got his seat sorted for next year. For sure. I mean, with that Honda partnership, I don't see Iwasa coming into the sport yet. I don't think he's ready. He's having his first year in F2, and he's doing a decent job, but he's not there challenging for the title. He's not ready to step up into F1. And I do believe that Gasly...
No, you're pit. Sorry.
I do believe that Gasly is going to go to Alpine. Yeah. I think Gasly will go, but obviously it all depends on what happens over these next few races.
Still the season, yeah.
But I think, Gasly's going to go there, and then there is a spot open up at AlphaTauri. It'll either, for me, go to Liam Lawson if they keep up with that, or they bring someone else like Schumacher into their young driver academy, which
But
for me, Schumacher needs. Otherwise, I can't see him going anywhere else.
right, I'm gonna throw a span in the works here. Why would they bring Schumacher if Liam Lawson's there and he's ready?
Exactly. That's what I agree with as well. I just think if there was another choice, it would be Schumacher.
Yeah.
If Schumacher starts performing, but that's a big if because he's had 2 really good races.
Yeah.
Britain and Austria. 2 really good races. Other races, he's either been matching his teammate or he's been beaten by his teammate.
Yeah.
But the 2 races that I really remember where he's just not destroyed, but like putting some really strong performances and not bottled it is Austria.
Yeah.
And Britain. And
hopefully
hopefully something similar can happen today for him and he can start to push on because I love the Schumacher name. I was always a big fan of Michael Schumacher and I want to see him do well, but I can't not look at the facts and say that, last season, backmarker car, can't really judge against him, beat his teammate who was a pay driver who's not very good. And then this season, Magnussen's had a year out and he's come in and, he should be
So maybe another season to actually see where he's at.
I mean, if he performs this year, because up until now, I've been maybe Schumacher can go. Maybe Schumacher will be out of sport next year. But, obviously it's only one result. But if he can take this one result from qualifying, carry it on, put in some decent performances, then he shows why he deserves to stay in Formula One. But it's all up to him. And obviously Alpine or AlphaTauri could be knocking. And he needs to show them why they should take him.
Yeah.
Because I think there's apparently been like a breakdown at Haas. I think as well, Vettel has told Schumacher to leave the driver academy for Ferrari and maybe even potentially to leave Haas as well. So, I think
works.
I think it could be interesting. But let us know in the chat, where do you think Schumacher will be next season? Alpine, Haas, AlphaTauri or anywhere else? And oh no, what has happened there with Perez? Just hopped over someone's wheel gun. But science is just
what is going on?
Ferrari, just play the clown music.
I just read just another Ferrari weekend then. I'm like, what? And I look up and I see that and I'm thinking, fantastic. He's going to be fuming. I honestly feel sorry for the drivers that Ferrari.
I know.
I honestly feel bad for them because Carlos and Charles are so good.
Yeah.
So good.
Yeah.
And it just keeps happening. I don't get it.
It's just so strange from last season. I don't feel like I remember last season making that many errors. So it's just strange how you step it up to a championship contender. And maybe because the pressure's on you more, that's why this has been happening. But what happened? So it's just the rear left, and there's no tyre there.
There's no tyre there.
What is going on?
No way. There's no tyre there.
And then he runs over their wheel gun for good measure. The wheel gun's just out as well. And it's just...
We got a tyre ready. What is going on?
Oh my God. Imagine if they destroyed that. I mean, I think they've got 2 wheel guns, so it should be okay, but... Yeah, when you're in the spotlight, your mistakes are noticed more than if you're not. For sure. I don't remember last year.
That's a cluster if I've ever seen one in my entire life.
Like, how do you not forget the... How do you forget the tyres?
I don't get it.
You got one job.
Haven't they got one person to take the tyre off?
Yeah, everyone runs out with a tyre. So where was that person just on the loo while that call happened? It's just like, where is it? Cuts to man just reading a newspaper on the toilet. Just
that should be somewhere right now. I just feel like I'm missing something. So Hamilton's now podium.
P3 and P4. Potentially, obviously, depends what happens with Perez. But yeah, Hamilton looking good. See what happens. But they're 10 seconds off of Verstappen and Leclerc. So I think to get that race win, Mercedes are going to need something very strong.
I don't think they'll contest for a race win.
Safety car. If a safety car comes out after those 2 boys pit, then it's going to help them massively.
That comment's tickled me.
The prancing donkeys. Wow.
That's absolutely tickled me. Oh, brilliant. Oh, I love F1. There's so much that's going on.
Mick Schumacher, what's he done? Oh, don't tell me he took out Sebastian Vettel again. Over to the left now. It's just a good overtake. This is a tricky corner. Great wheel-to-wheel between the 2 of them. Good respect. Right on the curb.
You know what,
that's good racing.
That's some very good battle.
That is very good racing. They must be loving it. Big smiles on each other's faces. And then
see you later,
there we go. There we go. Perez did a 2-second.
2.0.
Damn.
Jesus.
Lance Stroll in the box, out of the box, still P10. Let's go, boy. That's what we love to see. Nearly got Sainz. Could you imagine if he got Sainz? Oh. Lance Stroll podium incoming. Here we go.
I would love to hear Sainz's radio.
Oh, he just said, he was just like, oh, come on, or something like that. Tyres are not great. Well, your tyres might not be great if they don't have them ready for you.
5 seconds. 5 seconds of handle for Verstappen now.
Yeah.
So I'm expecting Verstappen to box next lap to react. Just keep it smart, keep it easy.
Will they come back behind? Yeah, will they come out behind Norris, or will they just stay ahead of Norris? Well, at least they had the tyres this time for Charles Leclerc, so that's good to see. 2.5 second. I think that's Norris in the pit lane there.
Yeah,
no,
so he's gonna come
on
out
mediums. Pitting from mediums.
I'm guessing soft mediums.
Maybe to try and stay. Maybe they now see that they can stay ahead of Sainz, but I don't know. Surely not. Surely the gap's too big, right?
I mean,
will they come out ahead of Sainz? No, I think they will. There's Albon. There's Sainz there, so it could be close. So maybe they were like, if we pit now, we'll come out ahead of Sainz, but I don't think they will. I think they maybe... Yeah, Sainz has gone past, so maybe that was why they pitted, but I just feel it weird, just, you know...
Now they can use Sainz to...
Medium tyres to hards.
Hopefully bring them on. It's too
maybe
far.
a two-stopper?
I think it will be a two-stopper.
Yeah.
He is on hards, though. Everyone else on mediums, so maybe they can go along, depending on degradation, but I'm not too sure.
Yeah, definitely two-stopper, because Stroll's gone mediums, so... they won't be taking them to the end for sure. So I said a free stopper. So I put my predictions for today. I said Verstappen, Hamilton, Leclerc, Russell, Sainz, and then I said that Vettel will get P10. Don't think that's going to happen now. That one's a bit of a yikes. Haas will get points, and I said it'll be a free stopper.
Well, Haas are not in the points. Vettel's not going to get P10.
No, Schumacher was in the points before the pit stop stage. So there's a few people who need to sort of work themselves out. Verstappen's going to come out behind both of the Mercedes. So we are back to 2020. A Merc 1-2.
A Merc 1-2.
Let's go.
I'm just trying to think. Is there a red flag?
Red flag would be the best thing for them. Yeah, I think even a safety car, Hamilton would have 12 seconds, which could be enough to stay out in front. But I think Max would just have the pace to eat him up quite quickly.
Yeah.
Why did Ferrari not go for alternative strategies? You're expecting Ferrari to come up with two different strategies. They can barely do one, all right?
They barely don't know what they usually get told what they're doing by the drivers. Charles always asks the question, why?
Would you like Hard's question?
Would you like the
first race of Zandvoort?
You told me you got the
who
data.
won? Question. Charles, I'm trying to drive.
Why do I care?
They just do pub quizzes while they're driving.
Race, didn't they openly have this discussion about strategies?
Yeah, and they kept on being like, question?
Yeah. They just opened and everyone was like, what are you doing? Shouldn't you have planned this?
Are they trying to fix their wheel cut after Perez ran it over? F1 Lord, of course you can have a mention. Hello, and hello to everybody else in the chat watching this. Are you enjoying backseat driving, heading towards more of a live approach? Let us know in the comments.
Listening to me and Haydon absolutely
just waffle, yeah. just I mean,
intellectual waffle. Don't get me wrong.
If they tune into our streams on a Thursday, then they're just used to this. So
yeah,
us waffling. Although I think we're both quite quiet when we race on a Thursday.
I'm concentrating, trying not to get beaten by you.
Fair. Didn't work, did it?
I mean, it would have, but a safety car came out. So
no, it wouldn't. I had you before the safety car.
No, I wasn't pushing.
Oh yeah,
I actually wasn't pushing. I was maintaining my pace.
Pretty sure your ERS was gone.
Yeah, but I wasn't using it.
What do you mean it was gone?
It was gone because I built a gap. Listen.
Yeah,
5
you
second
built a
penalty.
gap, which I caught back up.
5 second penalty for Zhou Guan Yu for speeding in the.
No, Joey boy.
Right, let's see what happened.
There's just no tyre. There's no let's see what happened.
They're all confused as well. Like,
is that our tyre? Oh no, someone just ran over the gun. It's just like, is that our gun?
That's insane.
Whose job is that?
Is
like, there's so
insane.
many watching.
It wasn't too bad. Oh, Riz? Yeah, it was quite bad.
Oh. I could have easily caused a punch if there was a bit of a sharp part. So happened to Vettel. Oh, he got overtaken. I was like, why is he moving over? Oh! He gave Bottas a little touch. He's been looking at Bottas' Instagram a bit too much. Saw that bum, was like, I want to give that a squeeze. He did, and it was a polite little squeeze. Verstappen fastest lap. He is gaining on Russell, taking that down from 9 seconds to 4 seconds now.
I think there is a spare wheel gun though. Yeah, that's the one that they used. The primary wheel gun, let's call it, was used, and the secondary wheel gun, we'll call it, was destroyed. Destroyed.
Do you know what I'd love to do? I've done it before with doing a pit stop change, but this was with an old wheel gun. I'd love to try it with a new one because I was quite rapid, when I did it by myself. I reckon I could do an F2 pit stop.
Silver's
because that's one man.
One man.
That's what we did when we did the video.
Wheel off.
Yeah. When we did the video, it was gun, wheel off, wheel back on, gun, and I did it in like 8 seconds. And this is like with an old school wheel gun, so the pressure's not as high, so it takes longer for the wheel nut to undo.
Silverstone. There was like a guy that was
F1. You can do the pit stop change.
Yeah. And that was, I didn't get a chance to give it a go, but I was very tempted. But those guns are loud.
Yeah.
They're like really loud.
There's a lot of torque on them, I believe. Like if you're not expecting it, then they can fuck your hands.
Investigate after the race. That'll be a fine for the team, then, won't it?
Yeah.
It won't be a race.
Yeah.
Because there's no point punishing the driver for it.
Albon in the pits. Albon running up in 7th at that point, so not too bad. Stroll back into P8. Let's go.
Stroll's having a decent
What a legend.
week.
Alonso up to P9. Obviously, he hasn't pitted yet, but what has he pitted? Did he pit earlier on?
Alonso, I don't think has pitted. No, he's on.
No, surely he has pitted because Tsunoda's only. Unless Tsunoda hasn't pitted as well. I don't know.
Chat, has Alonso pitted?
Yeah, has Alonso pitted? I'm sure he did because you were like, yes, Tsunoda's got Alonso back.
Yeah,
so I feel,
yeah.
Okay.
You're
So
right.
Alonso, fair play, strategy's worked out quite well for him to jump his teammate, move up to P9.
Thank you,
Fair
Lord.
play.
Thank you. Right, let's have a look at the back of the... No, let's not have a...
Max Verstappen chasing George Russell, striking distance in 4 laps.
Valtteri Bottas. What do you think of this season so far?
Very good at the start. I think the Alfa Romeo, the development of the car has not been as strong as some of the others. So I think it's become a team that was very much solidified in the top 8 of the grid in the race at the start of the season. Now to be a bit more of a yo-yo team. If the track doesn't suit them, they're going to drop down to be a Q1 knockout. If the track does suit them, they can get into Q3. But I don't think we're going to see the surprise performances that we did. I think Mercedes, McLaren, Alpine have stepped up their game.
Yeah.
That now they're looking at more 8th down position as like a best result rather than the 5th that Bottas did get.
Yeah.
So it's obviously a bit more of a struggle. I think Bottas was in the limelight at the start of the season because he was putting in some really good performances. But now I think Zhou's been able to step up his game.
Yeah.
More comfortable with the car. Now I think it's a bit more even between the two of them, which is, for me, is great to see. I'm glad to see Zhou performing well up there and beating his teammate, because obviously that's what makes you look good for having a seat for next season. If you can beat your teammate or match your teammate, then you're in a good position.
There already talks about Zhou keeping a seat next season.
Yeah, I think he should. I mean, it all falls down to whether Alfa Romeo / Sauber want to take on their junior driver of Théo Pourchaire, but he's not winning F2 at the moment.
Last season was great. This season, because
he's still fighting for the championship this season.
Last season came second, no? Because there was a worry about him winning the championship and then Alfa having to...
I think it was... Who won last year?
Last year was Oscar Piastri.
Oscar Piastri. I think he was fighting with like Zhou, Schwartzman.
No, it was Zhou and Pourchaire.
Was it? Okay.
I'm pretty sure. Because there was the worry that Alfa had last season was if Pourchaire won the F1 season, F2 season, then...
If you won the F1 season, damn. It's impressive.
They wouldn't know what to do with him because he'll be in the same situation as Piastri.
Yeah.
So that was the worry, which it didn't, which gave him a nice little fallback. I think if Pourchaire had won the F2 season last season, my God, then he would have probably been where Zhou is now. Mm-hmm. Potentially.
Yeah.
But the bag was mad for Alfa and they couldn't turn it down.
Yeah, I mean, look, we talked about it at the start of the show when you were like, why do you support Stroll? I think there's a lot of drivers on the grid who fundamentally they have help. Money has definitely helped them pay their seat. Obviously, Lance Stroll was a whole new scenario where your dad's bought the team. Obviously, that's a whole new thing.
I mean, Mazepin did the same thing.
Mazepin did the same, yeah, but, Mazepin didn't have any pace to back it up with.
No, I didn't.
But you look at Zhou, the money obviously comes with it, but he's had the pace to back it up. Even Lando Norris. Lando Norris, driver.
He is, but he's
he has the pace to back it up.
I think
he utilised that money to get more test sessions in F3 cars, F2 cars, to be able to get that experience, to be able to beat your drivers, because that's what it takes. It's track time.
Yeah.
If you were to jump on a new F1 23 game in a league race, right? No practice.
Yeah.
And then I jump in and I've done already 100 hours. I'm going to smoke you on it, aren't I? That's just how it works.
Yeah, you're
and
right.
obviously, that's how it's going to work in real life racing as well. If somebody can do more sessions, hire out a karting track and just do lap after lap after lap, they're going to be better.
Yeah.
And so money does help you get a long way.
I mean, F1 in its simplest form is a rich man sport anyway. I mean,
you have rare occasions of a Lewis Hamilton storyline where, but he was helped out massively by the Mercedes, McLaren, young driver really academy. Young. Ocon is another different story where he is another driver who basically came from nothing, and his parents, I think, were living out of like a remote caravan to try and get him to races and all that sort of stuff. But those are rare occasions.
They're the outliers, but for the majority, they're from a wealthy family that have been able to splash out on go-karting for the young 8-year-old that's been able to make something of it. Yeah. Like Lando, George, he's done that. Ocon has come through with talent. There's a few drivers. It's a bit of a weird one. Like if I wanted to get into karting and I wasn't very good, there's no way that would.
It's just basically now then.
Listen, didn't you punt me to get past me when we were racing the other day?
I was still quicker than you, regardless of whether I punted you. I just saw the opportunity. I saw the opportunity, and I had to take it. If it makes you feel better, I also got Aldas, and the Aldas one was much better.
That was harsh. That was harsh. You literally just went, yeah, I can tap. I could avoid this, but I'm just gonna hit him anyway. And I saw you laughing in the background. I was like, I hate him so much. Just a little. I was like,
do you think Aston would be in this place if they had their own sidepods and not Red Bulls? I mean, that's F1. F1 is teams looking at other teams. Everyone comes to the start of the season with a blank piece of paper and try and make their best car from those regulations. And then after a couple of races, you have a little look around. Drivers, we always see drivers doing it, having a little look around when they're in Parc Fermé, being like, oh, I wonder what they've got there. Vettel looking underneath cars and stuff like that. Yeah, exactly. And then that's how you improve your car. You'd be like, okay, so what have they got that's making their car better than ours?
There's that clip of Lewis having a debrief, and he's like, "Yeah, no, the Red Bulls have got this little sticky out bit on them," and like he's describing their car. And then the engineers will look at it and be like, "Oh, okay."
Like Aston's side pods were just huge and way too big, so they had the room, to be fair, to look at Red Bulls and be like, "Okay, they're a bit more sculptured. All right, let's make something like that."
Don't they have specific people hired to take pictures of the cars? I've heard about this.
Probably, yeah.
Just to get some engineering.
Well, that's
knowledge.
why, like, when they come to testing, like, they always have the things that go up in front of the garage so that no one can have a look in. But once you're on the track, there's nothing you can do.
Apart from underside, Max's pace in a straight.
Rapid. Can Russell hold in? Imagine if Russell made contact around here.
You can't even defend against that. What do you do? He went. I think he even defended it as late as possible.
He tried to just keep his nose in there, but it was just not possible.
Crazy.
It was just not possible. Right, Max versus Lewis again for the lead of the race.
We need Latifi to Latifi. Latifi is now a verb.
Latifi to Latifi.
What are you doing?
It's 32 seconds off of Magnussen.
Yeah, it's crazy.
He's 32 seconds off. I'm pretty sure that I'm sure that's a glitch.
Williams are talking about keeping him as well for next season.
No, you don't need that much money anymore, Williams. Okay, I'm sorry.
I just don't understand how much money is he pumping into that team, because I just don't get it.
Williams could, like, if Ricciardo's willing to take the pay cut, Ricciardo's there. You've got Logan Sargent as a new driver to potentially throw into the mix.
I don't understand what Williams wants.
Even pick up Nick de Vries. It will give you an engine discount from Mercedes.
A quote was something like, if Latifi can improve his pace and become more consistent the rest of the season, then we will keep him for next season. Something like that.
That does make sense. I mean, if other drivers were quicker and more consistent, then you probably would keep them. But is that going to happen with Latifi? I don't think so, unfortunately. As Ricciardo has come into the pits. Is that the second stop of the day? Or is...
I think that is his second.
Second stop of the day. Matt knows because he would have been watching Ricciardo closely. He's a big Ricciardo fan.
I'm a massive Ricciardo fan, but I'm struggling lately. I'll be honest. I love him. I really do.
Wake up and you're like, I'm depressed.
He's. It's really like done something. I realize that I am massively loyal to the drivers and the teams lately.
Mm-hmm.
I am.
I think it's unlike football. You are more loyal to a driver. Like you could be more of a fan of a team because your driver's there.
Yeah.
But then once your driver leaves, you might quite quickly look at somewhere else.
That exact because obviously I was like, I love it. I'm loving McLaren. I'm loving what they're doing, like everything. And then the whole Dan Rick thing happened. Now I'm like,
yeah.
I don't know if I love it that much anymore. Yeah. And then he'll go somewhere, and I'll be like, I'm probably loving this now. But yeah, my loyalty is strong with Dan.
This is going to box. Will they remember the tires?
Or is it a bluff? Wow, they're bluff. To be fair, they're not competing against anyone but themselves. I don't know why I said that. Good stop. 2.6. Nice. Go on.
Russell. He hasn't pitted.
Still in the softs.
No, I'm sure he was on mediums. So why is it saying softs? I'm really confused now.
He is on the mediums because I saw him pit for mediums. No, wait, was it?
But he can't have pitted because there's no way he could have pitted and been
They
I'm so confused.
Done this.
What has happened?
No, they have done this where they've shown the wrong tyre before, and it will say something like he's on a certain tyre. And I'm looking at the data thinking, no, it's not. That has happened. So I wouldn't be surprised if we're seeing the same thing at all.
Strange.
He's a very small man.
He is a very small man. Like a Yuki Tsunoda. I think that if Nick de Vries got into F1, he wouldn't be as good as a lot of people think that he's going to be, unfortunately.
He's quite old now as well. Is that 29 or something?
No.
Yeah.
No.
Check.
He's not 29.
He's like 28, 29.
What? No. He won F2 when?
Someone Google that. How old is
2018, I think he won F2?
Like 20, he's like
he was there for like 3 years in F2.
He's on the older side. There you go.
27.
I told you.
No, it's too late. I feel like once you go to Formula E as well, then there's no way back to Formula 1.
So Giovinazzi stuck then.
Yeah, I feel like once you go to Formula E, that's when you have kind of like fallen out of the Formula 1 loop, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
And I think for de Vries, I think, he's got a great thing going in Formula E. When he won the F2 championship, who finished second?
Sorry, ask the question again. I was looking at
when de Vries won F2, who finished second?
Stoffel van Dorn, wasn't it?
No, it was in the F2, not in the Formula E.
I don't remember.
Nicholas Latifi.
Oh,
so if Nicholas Latifi is the runner-up, you've won with a poor field. So...
But Nicholas Latifi was quite good back in his day, wasn't he?
No, he was just in F2 for like 7 years.
Was he?
Something like that. He was in F2 for ages. Russell pitted. Russell... No, Russell hasn't pitted. He's back to mediums now, apparently. But he hasn't lost any time. These Mercedes pit stops are super fast. They just like throw the tyres off down the start-finish straight. Russell's there. He's just like, catch these boys.
Off the mediums. Yeah, as I said, the graphics sometimes...
They've done 30 minutes, 30 laps.
The graphics sometimes just shows the wrong tyre, which is extremely confusing when you're trying to use that.
Trying to do data.
Exactly.
Your broadcast is late. Well, you're late. So come at me. Hamilton going to get past Russell. Hamilton. And they both jumped Sainz, I think.
Yeah. I mean, Sainz did a 17 second
Rip.
So I'm not surprised at all. Who's that?
It's Latifi. It's the teammates from last year together again.
Latifi, don't bother. Just, you're going to get the blue flag. Just stay.
He's like, oh my God, we're quicker than a Mercedes. Oh my God. Oh no, it's gone. Oh, never mind.
Isn't Gio a possibility for Haas next season, though? So could be a way back to F1.
I think he could be, but more from a technicality standpoint. I think if Haas want to take that discount from engines, because I think Giovinazzi obviously is still part of the Ferrari.
He's a Ferrari
family.
Reserve driver.
Exactly. Yeah. So if they take him on, Ferrari be like, have our driver, we'll give you a discount on our engine sort of thing. And if Haas need that, then they can take it, because obviously Schumacher's going to be out of the FDA. Who else is part of the Ferrari Academy?
Robert Schwartzman.
Is he still part of it? Because obviously the
I've
whole Russia situation.
I was thinking about this, and I don't think
saw him
he's
at F2
allowed.
recently, so I don't know what, because he just sort of disappeared from F2 and he hadn't won it. So I was quite surprised he just kind of disappeared from all racing. And I think it's the same situation as Mazepin.
Yeah,
that everything happened and they weren't allowed to race.
Drive under a different flag.
They do drive under. Well, before it was like, because it wasn't necessarily because of the war. It was more because of. Basically, I think it was like the Olympics, but Russia was caught for doping.
Yeah, the doping.
So therefore, Russia was banned from all sports. But so they raced under the Russian Automotive Federation, also known as the RAF, which was rather confusing for me. I didn't know Nikita Mazepin joined the RAF. Well,
that's the
it's
one
on the
now,
dive bombs that he made in racing. Then
so Russian Association Federation or something like that.
Yeah,
I think it was.
So I think.
So yeah, probably is allowed.
But then I think after that, then a lot of them kind of got. Mazepin was more because his dad was directly tied. I'm not too sure about Schwartzman, whether his dad was also directly tied to Putin, and that's why I wouldn't be surprised.
To cut those ties anyway.
Yeah, exactly. I think that's why. Is that the voice of Nico Rosberg? Is he at home still, or is he allowed to come out now? Because he wasn't allowed in the paddock because he hadn't had his COVID jabs. So he wasn't allowed in the paddock. Still hasn't got it apparently. So I guess he's still not allowed in the paddock. But yeah, so who else is part of the Ferrari Academy? I think Marcus Armstrong is, but I wouldn't really say he's having strong enough F2 season to put him in there. If it has to be like, sure, we'll take this driver on.
Yeah.
So otherwise it's Callum Ilott, but I believe he's recently signed an extension in IndyCar.
Yeah, he has.
So if Giovinazzi is there, will be there because of more of a... I don't think Giovinazzi was a bad driver in all fairness.
I don't think he was.
I think he was never going to be a world champion. Maybe not even going to be good enough to be a race winner, although he was strong in his F2 season. I think he went up against Gasly. I can't remember whether he won it or Gasly won it when they were in F2.
I'm still a baby to F2. I only started watching it last season.
I wouldn't say I
2 seasons ago.
regularly watch it.
No, I do.
I have knowledge.
No, I watch it regularly.
I'd say.
Yeah.
It's good fun.
I missed the feature race. I missed the race yesterday, the sprint race yesterday, but I watch it quite often.
Yeah.
Imagine Roy Nissany in F1. Didn't Roy Nissany in... Where was it? I can't remember what track it was, but...
We'll do a test.
No.
FP1.
I just remember him crashing out in the most silly way because he went onto like a curb, onto the grass. And
that was Silverstone.
And I was like, what are you doing?
Where he like squeezed somebody or something. He squeezed somebody off the track.
Oh,
they went onto the grass
Yeah.
and hit the sausage curb and T-boned him. So it was kind of like karma.
So no.
Hamilton going fastest. Drogovic is a weird one as well. I've said this so many times that Drogovic currently leading the F2 Championship, I think quite comfortably.
He is,
and he's just not even mentioned when other teams talk about this silly season. So on to plan D, they go. All the plans. Like Drogovic's name is just not even mentioned or associated with any team or being like, what about Drogovic getting a seat?
So up there in F2 this entire season.
He's winning it, you know. I'm just very, very surprised.
Liam Lawson's the primary one for
I think just because he's the best Red Bull driver currently in the series.
Filipe Drogovic is definitely up there, which will be a nice spicy mix.
Yeah, Filipe Drogovic can wrap up the F2 Championship by the end of the Monza sprint race, which is just fascinating how a driver with other drivers in the field being talked about like potential F1 opportunities, and he's just not like got a chance. But maybe it's just because he hasn't.
Well, no, because Helmut Marko apparently had a meeting with him about a potential future.
Well, I suppose maybe if Gasly goes and they need another driver and they pick up.
Fascinating that Marco's the person that everyone goes. If they're talking to Marko, then you've probably got to see F1.
Oh, here goes Lewis Hamilton on Sergio Perez. Come on, boy, get him round the out. Oh my God, that was
could have ended
so close.
What? Hamilton's like, I don't fancy that one. That was very, very on the line.
Jeez.
I mean, fair play for Haydon, but definitely Hamilton looked at that and just went, yeah, you know what?
I don't want this. I don't want to get involved.
So
oh my God, it was just the lockup. Like, great move from Lewis to go around the outside. Perez managed to control it, and then of course, because Perez has got to the apex first, he's allowed to do that squeezy rubbish. So yeah, Perez keeps position. Fair play. What were you talking about? Yeah,
Helmut Marko.
Red Bull Academy.
Yeah,
best academy out there. Best academy out there, and 100%. It's the only academy you'd ever want to join if you want an F1 seat. Ferrari don't have a secondary team to put you in there. Neither do Mercedes. Yeah. And here goes Lewis again. Oh, it's going to be difficult around the outside of here. Never going to happen.
Yeah. Start finish straight, mate.
But whereas Red Bull, you know, if you perform, they've got a second seat with two.
They've got 4 seats.
Yeah, they've got a second card with 2 seats that they can put you in.
Yeah.
So it's the best academy to go to.
Definitely.
If you want a seat. It's no wonder so many drivers are part of them. Because Ferrari, I'm like, who's in your driver academy? Mercedes has got Vestri.
Frederick Vesti.
He's got him.
There we go.
Yes.
No lockups this time. Lovely.
Go on, Lewis. And then Sebastian Vettel has joined. But here comes Sebastian
Where
Vettel.
did he come from? What the hell?
He's just come out the pits. Oh, no. Oh my God.
That high line is so much better.
Here
Jesus.
comes Sebastian Vettel.
Well, that's blue flag, no?
Battle for the podium.
This is a blue flag driver.
Yeah, he's just not getting out of the way.
What's going on
there? Okay, I thought that was like...
Just a bit of
thought somebody
dirt,
crashed
mate.
then into the dust.
There we go.
Oh my God, I thought he was going to come back onto the line.
Surely you're going to get a warning for that, or a penalty for that.
Well, I don't know. If Albon and Latifi can do it for a whole lap around Monaco, then I'm sure Vettel's fine for half a lap. Oh my God, I was so close.
That was
beautiful.
I looked away for a second, turned back, there's an Aston Martin. I'm thinking, huh?
And then you just see Sebastian Vettel, there he is. He's just coming out of the pit lane and just getting involved.
Surely at that point you let him through. No, that's going to be a penalty.
There was a blue flag. Yeah, blue flag for number 5.
His engineers would, and he just blocked him off again. Yeah, no, that's a penalty for sure. There's no way he's getting.
It's not Stroll. It's Vettel. Stop trying to put my man in the mud. It was Vettel, all right?
I don't even mean to do it. My brain just instantly.
It's that meme of The Simpsons where it's like, Bart.
No.
And it's Bart next to Marge. It's like, sorry, force of habit.
That's literally that's the case this year.
Alpine screws juniors like hell. Exactly, because they don't have a second team to put drivers in. You know? Alonso was the best driver to put in when they brought in Alonso. I remember loads of people were hating on why they bring Alonso. He's so old.
Yeah,
he's fucking amazing. All right,
like that.
If Alonso's joining your team, he's sick. All right, and also everyone was like, why don't they put Zhou in? Why don't they put this driver in? They didn't have the license points, so they couldn't come in.
I was on that side of why you bring like this is a barrier to entry for young drivers. Now I'm like, yeah, you know what, Alonso's a great choice.
Yeah, exactly. And then he'd be like, thanks for the seat, bye bye. Off to Aston Martin we go.
Charles Leclerc, where is he? P2 comfortably. 9-second gaps between P1, P2, and P3. 3 seconds between P4 and P3 now.
Do you reckon Merck can go to the end here?
Wait, hold on. Russell's about to attack Perez as well.
Hamilton going fastest again as well. But here goes Russell.
Is strong, but not quick enough.
Let's go, boy.
Lost out to two Mercedes. Is he on old mediums or something?
Let's go. I'm stealing your Coca-Cola.
Yeah, sorry.
You weren't drinking anyway.
I'm not. I'm a Pepsi guy.
Yeah, I had this the other day when we were asking for drinks, and someone's like, "Anyone want a Coca-Cola?" You're like, "Is there a Pepsi? You got a Pepsi here?"
I don't remember my voice being anywhere near
please,
that high.
Can I have a Pepsi, please?
Right, where are we? Mercedes having a really strong weekend.
P3 and P4, they're just, you know, if they had a better car, they just are efficient and they pick up the points. You know, they bring the car home. They don't make silly mistakes. And obviously it's not going to help them win a championship or anything like that, but they're ready to pick up the pieces if there is a mistake or a problem for Verstappen.
I'm Verstappen.
Same. Don't give me a medium.
No, I love that. Sorry. No.
Yeah, if Verstappen and Leclerc mess up, or Sainz, which they did, they messed him up in the pit stop. Therefore, they're ready to take that P3.
Mercedes have absolutely capitalized on everyone else's failures this year. Yeah. And it's just a credit to them on just optimizing and just keeping. They're so good as a whole unit, as a working unit, at just making sure they don't make mistakes and keep it good. It's a shame about the car not being as quick, but if there's a reason why they won, was it 7 consecutive seasons? Like in F1, there's a reason. It just goes to show why.
Goated.
I see Factory no longer in that McLaren t-shirt. What do you mean? It's underneath. My Dan and Rick shirt. On. No, it's not. I thought about it, to be fair.
Fast car. They are fast cars. I agree with that.
P8 and P9 for the Alpines. Yuki Tsunoda in the points, looking good, beating Pierre Gasly by a solid 20 seconds. Alex Albon in P12 and your boy Lance Stroll's in P11. What's going on there, mate?
Pitted, I believe. Yeah, pitted. He was on mediums and pitted to hards.
So we're expecting Tsunoda to pit one more time, I guess.
Yeah, Tsunoda. I don't know about Alonso and Ocon and Norris. I feel like they could maybe try and stretch to the end, but I don't know.
Yeah,
I'm not a strategist.
Oh,
he's got off the track. Penalty. Disqualification.
Disqualify him now.
Let someone else have a go.
The Hasses are having an absolute
Perez in the box.
Terrible one. Howler, mate.
How has Schumacher dropped down to 18th? I mean, he's pitted, so maybe he can. He was running in the top 10.
Well, this grid's so weird this year. So weird. I can't seem to. I mean, obviously we've got the top 8 is pretty much worked out, Gasly. But
it's pretty much like your F1 manager career, isn't it?
We sacked Tsunoda.
Why? Because he was beating you too much.
No.
And the chat was like, you were like, chat, you get another driver who's going to be worse.
Chat wanted a new driver, and we signed Alex Albon. Actually,
still beating you?
No, I'm actually leading that chat versus Durk championship. Why is Haydon acting like Massey?
No, Mikey, no. Under investigation. Naughty.
I told you.
Bad pit stop for Schumacher, apparently.
That was your boy.
Bad pit stop for Schumacher. He ran out of fuel like 3 times.
Oh, shut up.
Who's Tsunoda or you?
Me.
I saw your one in Bahrain, and I saw your clip of the Gasly crash in Canada. I can't wait. I'm hopefully jumping on it tonight, so I cannot wait to finally get into that.
Just don't get emotionally invested.
Oh, we will. I'm more competitive than you against chat because I'm going up against my girlfriend.
Yeah,
so
true.
Both of us are going to be ridiculously competitive with each other.
Oh God, that game is genuinely mentally draining. Yeah. I love it, but oh my God, my headphones have almost been snapped. Pretty much every stream, actually. just me just taking them off and going. Ah!
Hamilton closing the gap. Yeah, because it was 9 seconds, wasn't it? So he's closing the gap to Russell going quicker as both the Mercs are just finding pace.
Yeah, I don't know what's happening here.
I think maybe it's just like the older type. I think they're both on mediums, Verstappen and Leclerc. So maybe the hards, they're not overheating. They're in a good window.
Lap 42 and no flares.
No flares. No safety cars either.
No safety cars. They're behaving. Everyone's well behaved. And there's been overtakes as well, which is, you know what, this hasn't been the worst GP. I thought it's been better than I expected.
You're right.
Much better than I expected.
I think people will say it's a bad race just because there's not been too much of a challenge up the front.
Sorry, it's how big of a bounty would a driver have if they took Max out on the last lap? The whole Dutch nation, a whole country just started a war at that point.
Starting a war.
He's not even Dutch. He's Belgium. He's Belgium. People forget this. I had to educate people, and I went, "Well, you do realize he's Belgium?" Like, no, he's Dutch. And I was like, "Google it. He's Belgium." People forget.
Oh, I thought that was for some reason. I thought this was Verstappen. I was like, "Why is this driver not getting out of the way?" Perez fighting Lando. Who would have thought it?
I mean, it was happening quite a lot last season, no?
What happened a lot last season?
Yeah.
Yeah, but the cars are completely different this season. Yeah, the McLaren's not there ready to fight for Red Bull.
He can. This track is
stroll back into the points. Yes. Let's go. Let's go.
Paid. I was gonna say he will get overtaken and start finish straight.
Albon in the pits as well. That should leave a lovely gap.
He can defend quite well around here. I will give Schumacher one good trait. Out of everything, he can defend very well. He knows how to position a car, which is, I think, an underrated skill as a driver.
I don't think I've really seen it that much, but maybe that's because he's at the back a lot.
Yeah, but
so there's no one really to defend.
I've watched a bit, and he's very good at positioning a car in a way that.
Actually, no, I think I have. Joe sent me footage from his last lap in Hungary.
Joe?
I am. Yeah.
Oh, you got his number?
I have, yeah. He sent me his last lap battle with Schumacher. It was squeezing him all over the place. I was like, oh, fucking hell, he is aggressive.
Yeah. Now, Schumacher can, when he's
Alonso's got science in the box, 3 second pit stop. I mean, it's better than the 17. So Is Stroll going to get him?
Oh, and who's that?
Yuki Tsunoda. Has he spun it? He spun it. That's a spin. Look at the tyres. Tyres not fitted. So somebody else has spun there. That's not him spinning.
Engineer is not happy. He is not happy.
Who could this help out?
He's just pit. Oh,
this
mate,
helps out
he's
everyone
pit.
from Alonso, Ocon.
It's yellow flags. But
is he going to...
Up, he's going.
Your tyres are fitted, mate. What? His tyres are fine. What did he do?
He's probably going to pit.
Sorry, what
Franz
did he...
Tost looks so confused.
What did he do?
He looks so confused.
Surely the tyre... what?
I mean, there's no way he would have stopped and didn't think that the tyres weren't fitted.
Did he spin it or something? What happened? Let's have a little look at this replay. But what on earth? He comes into the pits. Tyres all fine.
Looks fine. That's
That's
helpful.
that
was really helpful.
What did he do? Just went, tyres are not fitted. I'm going to stop here. Mate, what are you on about? Tyres are all fine.
That's why
what are you doing?
Removed him in
Hamilton now 2 seconds off Charles Leclerc.
Oh, I love it. Ria, you make me laugh, mate.
They're going to box.
So now he's at the back of the grid.
They're going to box.
And he's a lap down.
Box. Right, have they remembered the tyre this time? They have.
Good stop, actually.
And it's on.
Decent stop.
And it's a 2.5.
Oh,
do you know what?
I'll stop that.
It's an improvement.
I am confused.
Oh, who's that? That's Vettel. Good. Vettel versus Schumacher. Round 2. Here we go.
Boys.
This is going to hold up Charles Leclerc as well, isn't it? Because they're not going to be like, oh, no, go through with the battle.
No. But, I mean, Vettel's already under investigation for ignoring blue flags, so I don't know if
one penalty, 2 penalty. What's the difference, eh?
I mean, he's retiring at the end of the season.
Is George catching up to... Oh, no, that's in the pit stop. So Max will come out behind George.
Up, front left is stuck. No.
What are they doing to him?
No, something's definitely wrong with his car.
Is he getting a little happy ending in? What is going on? I want to become a racing driver. Oh, look at that helmet cam.
Swiftly moving on.
Just looks so dodgy. I'm sorry. Is he away?
He's away.
Your tyres are fitted, mate. Your tyres are fitted. I mean, not that there's any point now, because I'm pretty sure you're a lap down to Nicholas Latifi.
Right, so...
Why is he going so slow? Oh, maybe he took off the seatbelts, and then they were like, yeah, no, it's all fine, so they had to put the seatbelt back on.
Why did they change the tyres then, if everything was fine?
You're coming into the pits anyway. Might as well. Don't know. Softs.
No, he's having a bad
What
day.
is going on? What is going on?
Alpha, what's happening?
I'm so confused. To be fair, this is brilliant advertisement for AlphaTauri clothing, because they can just drive along at this pace and just be like on the screen the whole time.
Virtual safety car.
No, not yet.
There it is.
No, not yet. It's not come up.
Sorry, hold on.
And that's it. Okay, the chat's a little bit ahead. All right, Mr. I can read.
Listen.
This could help Mercedes get P2 and 3. If the virtual comes out.
Is there a virtual safety car? Are we chatting nonsense?
Are we getting bamboozled?
What's going on?
It's right by a marshal's post.
Did some Max slip him it down?
Yeah,
virtual safety car. Sorry, I can see into the future.
Who's this going to help? Who's this going to hurt? It's going to hurt Sainz. I think Alonso, Ocon, and Norris can gain on Sainz here.
Well, no one's going to pit if there's a virtual safety car.
If people have to pit, then they will do it now.
Verstappen's yet to pit because he went mediums, didn't he?
He has to pit. He's going to have to pit.
This is
There's
a free
no
stop
way he
for
can get
all
those
three,
mediums
basically.
to the end. Huh?
So Verstappen, Hamilton, and Russell. Sorry, no. Russell's on hards.
Russell's on hards, Hamilton's on hards, but they can always go to mediums if they want to, and they're a lot better at not getting the tyres too hot.
But this only helps...
Norris, Alonso, Ocon into the pits. This could help those guys.
But Verstappen, if he needs to pit again...
Oh, slow stop. It's because Alpine were coming in.
What if there's been a strategical miscalculation from
slow stop from Alpine as well. Huh?
What if there's been a strategical miscalculation?
Come on, Stroll!
Here?
Come on!
No.
Get them! Yes!
There's Max. Onto the hards. He's coming in too.
Yeah, he has to come in. But it's going to help him. Because I think he might still come out ahead of Hamilton and... He'll come out behind Hamilton, but I think ahead of Russell.
And they won't have the pace to defend against Verstappen.
Don't think so.
Nah, he's going to come out ahead.
Nah. I think Hamilton... Oh, it could actually be close. Maybe you're right.
2.8 stop.
Who's in the box? Russell in the box.
No, they're not going to catch that.
No, Hamilton's in the box.
Hamilton's in the box.
Is he? I don't know. What's going on? He is in the box.
He is in the box.
Okay.
It'd be great if we had some graphic that will tell us what's going on, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Just sort of a little indication.
Double stack. Are they going to come out ahead of Leclerc still? No. Okay, I think just the double stack obviously makes it a bit tougher. Where is Leclerc? Hamilton's going to get Leclerc. Where is Leclerc? There's the two Alphas. Leclerc's back there. I think he's got him. Fair play, Mercedes. He can just capitalise.
They really know how to make the most of it.
Damn it,
I mean, at this point...
Held it on Stroll.
You never really hear Hamilton loving nothing ever goes in his way safety car wise, and for the first time, he's like, yes, it's gone my favour. Come on, I'm not getting screwed this week from this safety car.
18 seconds. I think this is Max's race in the bag now. I think Max has 100% won this race.
Are we going to see a P? No. Oh wait, Leclerc's on the hards.
Yeah,
they're on the mediums. P2,
I think
P3 Mercedes.
Easy Max Verstappen win. Max Verstappen 100%. Max Verstappen 100% has won this race.
Gone. But
Max Verstappen definitely won this race. I'm just trying to,
just
trying to jinx it. Max Verstappen, race winner. Might as well just confirm it.
Getting roped into your nonsense.
Join me. One of us. Ferrari have been Ferrari'd. Well, especially with Sainz.
What was it that I was saying earlier? Just another Ferrari week.
Yeah. If Stroll finishes P11, I'm just gonna. Look, she's loving it. She's like, look, she's like Ferrari bottling the strategy again. Oh,
I love this.
It's too good.
It's just too entertaining at this point. Yeah. Like, I just don't understand.
We're going back racing.
Someone needs to get sacked. Leclerc and Hards, this can't go well.
Right, come on, Stroll. Go on, Stroll. Go on, boy. Get him. Get him. No, come on.
Your boy is having a great start to the race. The restart, sorry.
He's had a little go. He gave it a little go, in all fairness.
A bit too much there.
Yeah, it's got caught on the curve. As we know from the game, that curve is lethal. It will just spin you out.
If you're a Sky Glass customer, by the way, please press the red button.
Fair. Okay. Yeah. Should we do that? Should we press the red button?
Yeah.
I don't know. Are we a Sky Glass customer? No idea.
Are we? To be fair.
This is a Prix that Stroll holds on to points.
Oh, definitely.
Alonso Norris on softs for 22 laps on softs. Interesting. Very, very interesting.
I'd love to see 15 seconds behind, but I'd love to see Albon get up there and get in a fight with Gasly.
Yeah,
it's too far.
I'm just hoping and praying that Stroll can hold on to this. He's got a 15-second point gap. But Alonso Norris on softs is interesting.
Wait, what? How has it stopped you? You're now in a good gap between...
I think because they could have potentially gone to the end and Verstappen would have pitted and come out behind both Mercedes. So at least it would have given them a chance, whereas I think now...
I still think this is a great result for them.
It's code for let's fucking get him.
True.
12 seconds though, but they're on mediums, he's on hards. So there is an advantage there.
Right.
But is it enough to beat the pace advantage of that Red Bull?
It's only 22 laps, 23 laps of the usage, which they'll do fine because Russell did 30 laps earlier on.
Oh, yeah.
So they're fine.
It's just whether they have the pace.
Alonso just did the fastest. Wait, hold on. Yeah. So they can push the tyres. They're fine. They've got better pace than
I just don't think they're gaining the gap. 12.8. It was 12.6. The gap's gaining. I don't think they're going to... But I think P2 and P3... Vettel, fastest sector 1.
Well...
Hang about. Fast sector 2, George Russell. But yeah, can Alonso and Norris's tyres make it to the end?
Look, Ocon again. Thank you for pointing that out, by the way. Absolute unit again.
He didn't pit under the virtual safety car.
But
I think those hards should be able to go to the end. If they do,
overtaken by Sainz and Norris. I don't want. It may not.
Yeah, it's just whether they're quick enough because Norris is going to be gaining on Sainz here.
Yeah.
But if they all battle each other, Ocon's like, "Thank you, boys," and so is Stroll.
This is interesting.
12.7. The gap's just remaining the same. So I don't know.
What was I going to say? I was going to say that I don't think they've been stuffed at all. I mean, they've taken Leclerc, which is good. They're on the better tires. They're going to be on the faster tires. They're P2 and P3. Max was always going to be the leading drivers. I think they would have just been causing themselves more bother.
I think stuffed for a fight for the win, but I don't think they were going to be able to fight for the win. But they would have at least had a shot, you know.
I think for what they've done here in terms of pitting and getting the mediums on and staying in good pace, they've
gap is coming down though.
They've gapped him by 5 seconds already.
12 point. It's just staying the same.
No, I see. Sorry, I mean Leclerc.
Yeah, I know. But the gap to Verstappen is just literally.
Oh,
it'll come down a little bit and then go up a little bit and then come down a little bit. It's the hard to medium is just even the two teams out, but that's it. It's just completely even now.
A couple of tenths gained. We'll see.
Yeah, but in a moment it'll be a couple of attempts lost again.
It's the start. It's the straights that.
Can Norris get Sainz? Because Alonso's the quickest man out there at the moment. What a drive from Alonso! I don't know where he started, but he was down there.
Yeah, it wasn't. I think it was at P14 up.
Yeah.
Like that.
He's going for it. Brake shape.
I love seeing the dash.
Yeah, it's cool, isn't it?
I love that.
Norris going defensive. Oh, he's going for it.
Run the wrong way.
He's going for it.
Oh, Norris is like, you know what? This is my corner, mate.
Yeah.
Get out. You just know that there'll be some colourful language coming from Alonso right there.
But Norris, get a move on. You've got those soft tyres. Go and attack.
I love watching
attack Sainz. Come on.
That's the level of aggression that you need. Like I don't think Schumacher has got. He wouldn't push someone out like that.
You just said he was insane at defending and very aggressive when he was defending.
He wouldn't do that though.
I don't know. I saw it. I saw him racing show. It was very much like that.
Because it was like we either both go out.
The
or
champagne
you
will be got linked. Jinx, don't you worry.
Oh, wow. Yeah, no, he'll be very pissed off.
Yeah.
He will not be happy. Yeah, there's the arm. There's the well-known fling of the hand.
All the time you have to leave it a space. All the time you have to leave it a space.
Do you see how many strategies Zach Brown had up on the screen there? Sorry, I'll actually look, but they're like literally rows and rows and rows.
F1 manager in real life. Ocon versus Sainz. Oh, they're all going to come together. This is going to be a nice little scrap. Ocon, Sainz, Norris, and Alonso all fighting for P6. This is going to be good. Hamilton's brought the gap down a second.
Bottas
Come on, boy.
Wait, no, I won't ruin it for you. Just don't look at chat.
Safety car.
I hope not.
I hope so.
I hope not.
Why?
Because
safety car, Verstappen won't be able to pit. That'll be a safety car. And then softs versus the mediums. Hamilton's fastest. Come on!
I regret reading already, but this will be very, very interesting. Let's just see what happens here. So what? Bottas is currently 9.5 seconds. There's no one around him.
He's just got a big problem. It's an Alfa Romeo problem. Vettel stopped as well, apparently. Maybe they came together, lapping? Nah, I don't think.
They could just be trolling, you know?
Could just be trolling. Could just be.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Don't get my hopes up. No,
it wasn't trolling.
It wasn't a troll. It is
cars
Bottas.
bottled. That Alfa
that's going to be a safety car.
You can't recover that.
That's going to be a safety car. Oh, this could be very good. No, don't overtake there.
Yeah, he saw that and he was like,
He was sort of all the way alongside, so it just depends when that yellow flag came out.
Sector 3. Oh, obviously it's the same.
It just depends when that yellow flag flashed up. Because it looked like he went for it, and then the yellow flag came out when he was side by side. He's like, do I, don't I? Oh, it's better to be told off and told to give that position back. Max has stopped. You're lying.
Nah,
You're lying.
They're trolling.
You're trolling now. You got me for a second there. I will admit, okay? But you trolling.
If he does it now, though.
Oh my god. Oh my god. Yeah. Or Max maybe means Max has stopped for pit stop.
Yeah, they can't recover that car.
I think Red Bull can't pit because they will come out behind Hamilton,
and they
and Max doesn't want to go on the mediums.
No,
and the mediums were quicker.
And they're fresh. They're all fresh tires as well.
Russell could pit. If they wanted him to. Max is in apparently.
But he doesn't. But Max doesn't want mediums. He wants hards.
Yeah.
He said he was happy with the hards. So
softs
I don't.
Maybe at this stage. I don't know if softs could go. I think he did quite a long stint on softs. So if he does have some soft tires, why is it taking so long though for a safety car or virtual safety car to come out? That's a lap.
Way too long.
That took a lap. You know, there's a car stranded there.
Long. I mean, he's locked up trying to avoid that now.
Yeah.
But yeah, it took way too long. That I don't know what they're doing.
Mate, you gotta make that decision a lot sooner.
Softs will make it. There's lower fuel. There's less fuel, in the car, so the tire degradation.
Yeah, I think then if they're on the softs, they're gonna get the Mercedes regardless. So will Mercedes box as well. Merc 1-2.
Are we about to see Hamilton's first win this season?
Shut up. We're jinxing it the other way. You're doing the wrong one.
There is a high possibility that could happen. This is interesting.
Into the lead. Come on. It's like 15 to go. His tyres will be dead. How many laps did he do at the start on softs?
He's trying to keep the delta. Look, he's trying to keep the delta to stay ahead of him.
Yes.
There you go.
Yeah, how many... Does anyone in the chat know how many laps Max did earlier on the softs? Russell needs to defend like a lion here. He needs to defend like a lion for Mercedes to get a win. Because Max, we saw the mediums to the hards. The Merc was slightly quicker.
If anyone's got F1 TV...
The softs to the mediums, those softs are going to be... He's going to be absolutely rapid around here.
Yeah, if anyone's got F1 TV and is watching that, jump onto Russell and just listen to what the engineers are telling him.
Are they going to pit Stroll?
Come on,
pit Stroll. Because he had the gap. He had like 15-second gap, I think, to Gasly. Just put him in the box.
Apparently Max did 12 laps at the start on the softs.
Did 12 laps. Okay, so safety car will be out for maybe another 2.
Yeah, so 15 laps.
I think he'll make it. I think he'll be fine. Lighter fuel. The tyres are going to be a bit better. The track's rubbing in a bit more. I think they're going to be fine. I think he'll get to the end.
It's a very interesting situation right now.
Yeah.
But that's if...
I'm excited. I'm excited.
Let's just spice everything up. You know what? This season's really delivering. Where I've been like, meh, this season's really, really delivering.
I think we've had the last 2 seasons and this one, very good seasons of F1.
Yeah.
I think what this is missing is a closer championship battle this year.
I mean, that's not even down to the car.
But in 2020, there wasn't really a close battle as well. So,
yeah.
Why did the Mercs pit? You're lying. You're lying.
They're on fresh mediums. They don't need to pit. They're on a pit like 2 laps ago.
Safety car went through the pit lane. That makes sense because there's a car stranded. That makes sense. Because there's a car on the main straight, so they have to go through the pit lane to make it safer so the marshals can get on the track.
Sorry, say that again?
So they take the cars through the pit lane, the safety car, because the Alfa Romeo's on the start-finish straight.
Yeah.
So to get the cars out of the way, so the marshals can get the car off the track as safely as possible. So there's no risk of any cars being on track where the marshals are.
Okay.
Does that make sense? So they did stop him.
Oh, wait.
They did stop. They stopped Russell.
Huh?
Because they're giving him... Because
has he got enough gap?
Yeah, he's got enough gap. He's got enough gap.
Because
of all these cars in the middle.
Now Verstappen's ahead. Why would you do that?
I don't know.Maybe because they want to try and stay ahead at least of Leclerc?
But now Hamilton's not pitted new tyres.
No, he hasn't.
So what's the point of stopping Russell?
So confusing. I don't know.
Fair play.
Okay.
Fair play.
I mean, it's the same situation that we saw in Britain. Have they just done an unsafe release for Ferrari? Or was that Alpine?
Every time I look away, it's like I miss something. I cannot look
Ferrari
away.
Just done something. Stroll on the pits. He hit the Alpine.
Hit the Alpine.
Okay. Hamilton being screwed by safety cars.
I hope I get a replay.
Russell on softy box when they all came through the pit lane. Lewis chose to stay out for track position. Yeah, as the leader, that's the choice you have to make. I think as everyone's coming through the pit lane, if you have enough drivers in front of you, like behind you, that you don't lose time. What is he doing?
He's looking to contest for the win.
Yeah.
This is why I said get George Russell's POV on and see what they're telling him. That is a bad release.
Yeah, I think
very bad.
I think it would have been fine. It's just because the McLaren pit crew, he had to go so slowly coming out the pits, and that's what cost him. Because obviously they have the person in front, don't they? That gives the signal. So I think that Alonso hadn't got to that signal part at the right time, but he didn't counter for
someone.
Who's in the way? There's only one car in the way. So if you pit, you've lost out to Verstappen. Okay.
All right. Okay. So there's a blue flag driver between Verstappen and Hamilton.
Goodbye, Lewis's first win of the season.
There's a safety car. So we know from last season that the blue flag driver should be let through. That's what should happen, or not. But they should be let through.
So not right.
So they're going to be let through, and then Verstappen's going to be behind Hamilton, and he's on softs. Hamilton's stuff.
Yeah.
Russell's going to be so at this moment.
We saw it in Britain with Charles Leclerc. The only difference is at least they're still good mediums, but yeah, it just depends on like the overheating. But I think it's going to have to be a defending masterclass from Lewis Hamilton.
If Lewis can
to keep Max behind and to keep the rest of them behind,
yeah.
Or he, just forces Max out a little bit wide, opens the door for George Russell and go, through you go, my child.
Through you go, my child. I was thinking that could be a case.
I'll pass the baton on to you.
That was a bad release. Honestly, on the safety car restart, I think Verstappen's just going to get him. The pace in that Red Bull on the straight line is just too good. Wait. Anyway, sorry. I've got flashbacks, and I'm never going to get over last year. I just won't happen. But
I think it'll be one of those things that in years to come, everyone will agree that it was a bit of a shit show. Like, I know that there's obviously people who will be like, at the moment,
no one would have cared
something
about,
happens.
We've all would have accepted whatever result which may have came.
So by then, like even like I think in 20 years' time or something, when Horner's retired, he's an old grey man, and there's like a documentary or something on it, and he will be like, it was the wrong. It was a very sort of strange call or something like that.
That was just it.
Yeah.
No one would have cared if the rules were like clear cut. Like, then it would have been just absolutely fine.
Yeah.
But it's
Safety car in this lap?
Crazy.
No.
One more lap.
Okay.
Because it's the
I was just confused how he slowed down then. So I don't know what was going on, but maybe he was just trying to build a gap to like try and warm up the tyres or something. But yeah.
A lot of bit of lock up for Lewis.
Get that temperature up.
Yep. And you're just like, yep.
Yep. Welcome back to Abu Dhabi, mate.
Yep.
This is being manipulated, man.
Wow. Yeah. Anyway. No, this.
Oh, it's Nico Rosberg.
Go. Why are you sweating, Toto? No, I think Verstappen's gonna fly past Lewis here.
Lewis just, keep him out wide.
He'll try it, but Verstappen's just honestly the talent this year is like it's just crazy, and the car is just crazy. So he's gonna fly past. It's just a question of whether
safety car in this lap.
Yeah, it's just a question.
We go back to racing.
Stroll's
still in P10. Just you watch. Stroll's going to finish this race P11.
All right, so
just you
Gasly
watch.
and Albon.
Stroll will finish this race in P11.
Why?
Don't you know? Because it just happens every single time. There's a good race. Like, you have such a good race. But because you're in that sort of car, where you can finish 11th.
Yeah.
He just finishes 11th every race, no matter what happens.
And
it's just so stressful. Every time he beats Vettel, it's P11, and it's just like, when Vettel, does well, there's other drivers in the top half who have mistakes and crashes and gets up into good positions, and it's just like, why? Why you do this to me?
I listened to you say that, and I was like, did he say P10 or P11? I was confused there.
Let's go. Come on.
Right, okay. So, safety car restart, lap 60, 12 laps remaining. Strategies all over the place, tyres all over the place.
Imagine if you just nudged him like F1 Open lobby style, just gave him a little touch and just round. Just like, oops. I am the captain now.
A bit
and
of chaos here. He's gone, but let's just keep an eye on that Red Bull because again,
it's just so quick. Look at it. It's already on the back
behind
of him.
Like,
there's nothing you can do.
It's crazy.
It's just gone.
No, that car is on a different level.
No.
Different level. There's nothing you can do. Honestly, I love it because Red Bull have definitely nailed it this year. But oh my god,
he's just Ian Bill from EastEnders. I've got nothing left. Well, it's fun while it lasted.
Right. Okay. Now it's about. I think Russell's just in it to beat Lewis. Oh, but then they've got the Ferraris behind them. All right, it's going to be interesting.
He's just restart. I've seen. Honestly, it was like he was overtaking a back marker. He just flew.
The car is just insane.
Matt's could have left him have 2 corners ahead and be like, "Yeah, I'll get you at the end of the straight. Don't worry."
See you later. Bye.
Bottas apparently still in the race. Only 1 lap down.
Only. Right.
Just
okay.
Look at this.
Honestly, he's got the toe. He's got the engine that's just crazy. He's got the skill to brake lay. What are you gonna do?
Job done.
What just are you gonna do?
Easy. Big sad.
Oh my god!
Do you know what? I still really want one of those capes.
The Dutch capes.
Yeah, I still really want one. They're really cool.
Nice.
Now it's just a big train. Everyone's just stuck behind Lewis Hamilton.
Yeah.
Will Russell overtake him?
Everyone's just stuck in each other's toe at this point.
If Hamilton loses out to Leclerc, Merck must answer, though. Why do you think Merck must answer? It's one of those things when you're the leader, if you pit and nobody else does, you can fall down all the way to 10th and you've lost the lead.
Yeah.
It's one of those tricky situations. Yes, in hindsight, everyone else pitted and he could have easily been pitting and been fine. But it's just one of those things you just don't know that that's going to happen.
We say Russell prioritized himself, but that's the correct decision to do. It's a race at the end of the day.
But he's in that comfortable position where he could do that. He knew he had the gap with cars behind him, so he could get stay ahead of Leclerc. Did Sainz get Perez? Looks like he did. Yeah,
but Sainz was already ahead of Perez, wasn't he? I was pretty sure.
Don't know. No, Sainz was behind.
Or 5. Was he?
Because he Sainz was behind him because he just overtaken Ocon before the thing. Max Verstappen, fastest lap of the race. Russell's going to be selfish here.
He has to be selfish. He has to be. You are a race. You're a driver in Formula 1.
If he isn't selfish, Mercedes 2-3 guaranteed. That was the biggest fuck up. It's one of those things though where you just have to. You cannot pit.
No.
Because he will get you anyway. And the car doesn't have the pace to get them back.
No. And as I said, like Verstappen is always going to win this race. Yeah. This is Mercedes optimizing what they can get. And
Ricciardo has done 5 pit stops.
He shouldn't be annoyed. He should be really happy. I mean, I understand. Listen, I like Lewis. But in this case, he needs to just you get your P2.
Well, the thing is, in that moment, you'll be frustrated. I had it happen to me on Thursday, and I was like, is this the right call? Is this? I'm screwed here. I'm going to get stuff because in that moment, that's all you're thinking about. You're like, I'm winning the race, and I'm being screwed over. But that's how you will feel, regardless of what happens outside. But he'll look that back, and he'll go to the engineer's briefing and be like,
Russell,
easy overtake for George. Oh my god,
boys, what's going on? Oh, there goes Georgie boy.
He holds it. George up to P2. Could you imagine now George has the pace to go get Verstappen. Obviously, it's not going to happen. But could you imagine? Can I just live in that world where there will actually be a battle for their lead and not Max Verstappen?
It's not.
Running away with
Maybe next year. Maybe next year.
Hamilton is finished.
What do you mean? He is really annoyed.
Yeah.
I mean, George made the decision to be put onto pit, softs.
But because he had that luxury. When you're in second place, it's like you pitting in that race. You were third. You had that luxury to pit because you're not winning the race. You've not got like that much to lose.
Yeah.
But when you're in first, Max has the luxury because obviously he did pit from the lead, but he has the luxury of having such a good car that he knows that he can easily make up one more position. Whereas for the Mercedes, they fall back. Say the others don't pit, they fall back behind Ferrari, Red Bull.
Yeah.
Do you honestly think that they can get them all back? No, I don't think so.
No, they're not. I'm annoyed. I'm annoyed at him. That's Can
he hold off Leclerc though? Here comes Leclerc around the outside. He's just going to have the grip, isn't he?
Leclerc
ekes him out though. Yes,
the softs are in a different.
But how long can they hold on?
No, Russell. Yeah, as Crofter just said, Russell made the decision to pit onto soft. He outright said, "Put me on softs." He made that decision himself. Yeah. So
but that's because he looked back and he knew he would come out ahead of Leclerc.
Yeah,
he pitted.
He was telling
free pit stop.
Latifi to speed up, wasn't he? So he planned that.
Hamilton had Latifi behind him, and then Verstappen, I believe it was. Yeah. So if he'd have pitted, Verstappen would have got him.
He has no reason to be upset. George made a call. It's worked out for him, and he's ahead of him. He should have made the same call if he wanted to stay ahead. It's up to him. And usually I defend him, but today, can't lie, I'm very much against what he's doing and what he's saying.
Well, no, I'm not. I mean, in that situation, you are going to be frustrated when you're driving and the adrenaline's rushing. You're going to be annoyed and always question a strategy that happens because you're like, what have you done to me? But he'll come back into that debrief. They're talking through it, and they'll understand that there wasn't any other option. It's the same for Leclerc when they didn't pit him in Silverstone. He didn't have the luxury of being able to pit.
No, I understand the frustration. I really, really do. It's just the way he's venting right now is just silly, in my opinion. Especially for someone that he knows. Like I
think he'll be fine from the cars behind because they've kind of dropped back a little bit. As Perez also on mediums as well, so.
If he can stay within Leclerc's DRS, which he won't.
I don't know why Perez... Did Perez pit to new mediums or did he not pit?
I'm not too sure, mate.
No way Latifi got lapped again. I think because he was 2 laps down, so therefore he was allowed 1 lap back. Hopefully these two fight and then that can kind of help Hamilton out a little bit.
I mean, the 12-second stop is now redundant.
Oh, Stroll hunting down on Ocon.
No, Hamilton's lost out of the DRS, so now he's just sat there and...
Russell keeping a similar gap to Verstappen, but I don't know if Verstappen's just sort of managing it. He's like, cool.
He's probably
can just chill at this sort of pace now. We're matching Russell.
He would have been told to just maintain and just manage the tyres from here on. No point taking a risk if you don't need to, right? He's got the fastest lap.
Yeah.
Like he can go for another one.
Oh, Perez having a little look. We've got Norris versus Alonso.
What? As long as Perez and Sainz keep battling, Hamilton's safe. This is a spicy race. Jesus.
Spicy.
That safety car has caused absolute mayhem. Right, okay. So 3.2 for Russell. He's keeping that gap, like you said. Leclerc's in a very comfortable spot right now. He's not going to catch Russell.
Yeah.
Carlos Sainz is battling Perez for P5.
I think that's helping out Hamilton a lot. Stroll 10th, by the way. Don't worry, I'm watching. He's hunting down Ocon at the moment. I'm keeping an eye on that. But Ocon now within a second, so he's going to get that DRS. That's going to help him.
Absolute stinker of a weekend, and I'm so heartbroken.
Alonso versus Norris. Driver of the day. Who are you picking?
It's really hard. I mean, obviously Verstappen's just been a beast, but there's not really been a standout for me, if I'm honest.
Yeah, there's been a lot of good performances, I think, from today.
I haven't got one, mate.
Alonso started 13th and now 7th. You know what? Not a bad shout. Made some good overtakes. Verstappen's just been on it. Like, it's one of those things. I don't know. I feel like people avoid giving driver of the day to the guy who's won
because he is.
But he's also been on it.
Choice,
so
yeah. I mean, if it wasn't for
not put a foot wrong.
If it wasn't for Verstappen being the leading driver, and I always go for someone else different because obviously they're winning the race.
Because you got British bias. And
shut up. No, Verstappen is the leading drivers or the winning driver is always usually the driver of the day because they've been outstanding on the day. But so the clear choice would be Verstappen. But if Verstappen wasn't an option because he's by default winning the race, then that's where I'm at. I would say Russell, but Russell's just capitalized on the safety cars.
I was up in 12th, good race for him, but 2 free pit stops handed by retirements. Yeah, I think Alonso maybe. 5-second time penalty for Sainz.
Sainz is
5 seconds. Where's that going to count us back to?
Wait, 5 seconds penalty on Sainz.
5 seconds. So that's 1 second, 2 second, 3 second, 4 seconds.
So
Stroll's just going to miss out. Fight him, Perez. Fight him. Get Stroll another free position.
What was that a penalty
Unsafe
for?
release.
He got a penalty for the unsafe release.
Yeah.
That's harsh on the driver. That's very
You're a
harsh
team at the end of the day, aren't you, though?
Yeah. That's very harsh on the driver. But again, it's just Ferrari doing Ferrari things.
Losing down to 9th.
Just another Ferrari weekend.
Unless Stroll can just about nick in there. Come on, Perez. Fight him. Fight him. Hold him up. How peak would that be, actually, if he overtook Sainz and then slowed him down so that Sainz lost all the way out of the points?
I mean,
that is an incredible strat. Please do it. Please do it, Perez. Also, because it gives Stroll another point.
Alpine tried to do that.
Alonso was doing that, I'm pretty sure, wasn't he? Yeah, but he was doing it against his own teammate.
Yeah.
He was just like, my teammate's got 5 seconds.
Alonso's got a 5-second penalty. We need you to
Stroll's in it at the moment. Come on. Come on, Stroll. Come on. Get that extra point.
Well deserved. Keep throwing away the championship, Ferrari. Thank you.
Right. Come on, Perez. Fight him.
Hamilton's safe for P4 here now. Sainz is high deck.
Oh. They're fighting. Oh, round the outside.
Oh, can you make it?
He's into the dirt.
I mean, he had. I don't know.
It's the same as everybody else has been doing.
Yeah,
you've got the apex. You've got the apex first. You know, it's up to the driver to back out according to these rules. So
battle for 5th. Well, not technically. Technically not battle for 5th, but
Alonso's like, yes, please. Come on, let's get P6. Yeah, I think Alonso for my driver of the day.
Right. Yeah, no. Verstappen. Russell's not catching Verstappen at all. He's dropping a couple of tenths.
Verstappen's just got it calm. He's just keeping that gap. Hamilton's, I think, happy P4.
I know Alonso.
Let's watch this back again.
If he gets,
I think it's the same thing. Like, he's not ahead of the apex. Carlos has just closed the door.
I mean, he's closed
and
the door,
it's up to Perez to back out of that.
Yeah. I mean, same thing happened to Lewis earlier, and he backed out of it. So
we've seen it multiple times.
He's gonna be raging. Yeah.
Hey, I've got an orange mohawk.
Oh yeah. When Max crosses the line,
who's in that 5-second gap of Sainz? It's kind of helped Sainz though to build that gap. Now he doesn't have the pressure of Perez.
Alonso's gained 6 positions this race. Actually, you know what?
Yeah, that's what I think I'm going to give it to him.
That is admirable. What was I going to say?
You're washed.
I'm not washed.
You are, mate.
I am actually faster than I was last season.
Not fast enough, though.
Without trying, and now I want to be trying.
Okay.
All right. So then we'll talk next time. Let's chat. All right. No, Russell's gained 4 positions as well. But again, he's just capitalised. It's really hard.
You're still debating this drive of the
honestly,
day.
I can't.
You're going to be here till tomorrow.
I'm just going to say I haven't got one. Everyone's like, there's been up and down class driving, but because of the safety cars, it's kind of muddled my decision making. So that's why I'm going to go.
Come on, Stroll. Get within that 5 seconds, please. Show me the gaps. I need to know. Yeah, Vettel up 6 spots, but 2 of those are retirees. So it's 4 spots. I don't know what Haas have been doing in this race.
There's nothing.
They've dropped down so much.
Albon P12 though Probably my driver of the day. He's been pretty.
I'm pretty sure he was in like
Williams.
P12 anyway in qualifying.
No, he was. But my point.
So
being,
what's the point?
My point
like, he hasn't done
Albon,
2 people ahead of him, or one person ahead of him's retired.
In Williams.
Yeah.
Right.
Tsunoda retired, and he still hasn't gained a position.
For the points now. I'm thinking he needs. I'm glad he's got. I think he needs to go back to Alpha.
Right. Well, the gaps.
Get a good car.
1, 2, 3. Oh, the gap's too big. Damn it.
What, for Stroll?
Yeah, the gap's just a little bit too big. He's going to drop himself down to P9.
All right, boys.
We're taking the point. We take home the point.
Max Verstappen, fastest lap of the race. P1. P1.
Yeah, just
Grand Slam weekend.
Destroys it.
Mate, he's
charges through the field. The charging ball.
I can't actually believe how good that entire unit is right now. It's crazy.
Turn up to the max.
The flares.
Here we go.
They're the flares. They're the fireworks.
But the most important thing, come on, bring it home. Come on, boy.
He's still looking at Lance Stroll. George Russell, P2.
We're nearly there.
Charles Leclerc, P3.
Nearly there.
And one very annoyed Lewis Hamilton, P4. None of the drivers can see a thing at the moment.
Yes! Point, baby. Missed out on the extra point for the pen, but we'll take the point. We will take the point.
Ocon missed out
what we need.
On P8.
Vettel got overtaken by Schumacher at the line.
Yeah, what? That would be an interesting.
Zhou had a penalty, so he dropped down, and then Schumacher must have got Vettel on the line.
No, it was quality from
Max Verstappen. Honestly, just needs to turn the difficulty up at this point. Like, come on, mate.
No, that Red Bull outfit is just silly.
You're on 101 AI. Let's turn it up to 105. Come on.
Seriously impressive. You know, I can't tell the difference between Max's engineer and Christian Horner. They sound the exact same to me.
Do they?
The exact same.
You need to get your ears checked, mate.
Am I wrong?
Yes.
Oh, okay. It's just me then. It's just me then.
Question is, can Max now beat Vettel's goals? Max got 22% of the vote for driver of the day, just showing how close it was in all fairness. And I think it's a good shout for driver of the day. You know, it's a flawless performance. Nothing wrong from team and driver. So fair play. And also let us know your rating out of 10 on the race.
Good job that your shirt was in the wash.
It will be bad. Don't worry. The bet will still happen when it probably will be maybe like Singapore or something like that, because I'm away around the 22nd in the Netherlands, and then I'm back. So when I'm back from that, I'll bring the shirt with me and I'll wear that.
Out of 10, what would you rate the race then?
I think a solid 8. I think it was a solid 8. I don't think it was the best race of the season, but there was definitely a lot going on throughout it. I think the ratings obviously brought down because Verstappen didn't really have many people to fight in like the opening start of the race, and then there was maybe a bit of a chance that Mercedes might get involved, but didn't really happen. But I agree also the safety car did kind of save the race, made it a little bit better to make it just a bit closer. But I think it's just Verstappen's just so good at this stage of the season that he's just running away with it. But race is obviously so much better when you've got a battle for the win going on.
Yeah,
but I think there was enough battles to be an 8 for me.
Yeah. No. All right. For me, track still sucks.
Nah, I wouldn't say. I would say there was some good racing around here.
There was some good racing, but I'm still not a massive fan of the track watching. But I think that the cars have made it a lot better. I'm gonna give it a 7. A high 7.
High 7. Yeah. Well, a 7 from me. An 8 from me, a 7 from Durk. Let us know in the comments what you rated this race. That has been our watch along for the Dutch Grand Prix. We'll be back next week. We head to Monza, where we've come from, obviously, Verstappen's home Grand Prix in the Netherlands. We go to Ferrari's home ground in Monza. I don't think they're going to have a chance there because the straight line speed from Red Bull is just absolutely incredible. They haven't got a chance. But thank you very much, everyone, for watching. Thank you, Durk, for joining us.
It's been fun. Thank you for having me. I really enjoyed it.
I look forward to being you again on Thursday.
All right.
We'll see you on the next one. Thank you very much, everyone, for watching. Goodbye.